when we get into the specific situations, we'll be working through a set of performance questions. Okay. And these that you're seeing, they're not all of them, but there's some really important ones that I like to use. And especially when I'm watching an individual player, I use them with Notre Dame this year. And these are also questions like you guys should take, and I can send them to you guys when you're analyzing your own games. And by the end of the summer, you guys should be able to do this on your own, right? We're trying to give you the tools to do that. Instead of me just talking about them, let's go through them with a clip from Cale Makar doing a D-zone retrieval. Okay. But first, like, what is the situation? Well, it's a D-zone retrieval. What's his role? He's retrieving the puck. So he's going to be the puck carrier. He's not a support role. He has the puck. What's his goal? What's the goal of a D-zone retrieval? Okay. His goal is simply just to increase the odds of a successful breakout. His sub goals are more detailed. His sub goals are first to get possession of the puck, beat that first forechecker, start the breakout with either a pass or by skating it, and then lead or join the rush. And then if you can't do that, follow up in a support role. Okay. And those will become a little bit more clear as we watch the video. What's the problem? This is probably the most important of the questions. We want to know what the problem is so we can figure out the solution. Just in general, there's a lot of things that make D-zone retrievals problematic for D. They're really hard plays, right? No team has possession, and it's the D's job to gain it. To do that, they have to pivot and turn, face the puck, and win that race, right? They want to be first on it. When they turn, most of the information that they need to make a decision, all of their options are behind them, right? They're turning, skating towards the puck. All the other players, their support, the pressure, the space is behind them. So they have to shoulder check. It makes it a lot harder to pick up that information. A lot of times the puck is also on the wall, which isn't easy to pick up, when you have time and space. But on top of that, you have a forechecker who's trying to run you through the end wall, right? That adds a ton of stress. That is what a D-zone retrieval is. It's why it's one of the hardest plays in hockey. That's like the general, what is the problem? These questions that we're going to work through now are, what's the information that Cale should be perceiving? What does that information mean? And what are his options? Okay. That's what makes this specific situation unique. We'll watch this clip of Cale and work through these 3 questions. I'm going to pause every time he scans. So every time he moves his head, I'm going to pause it and we're going to highlight the information and discuss what that means. He's in white. You guys know that. Here's his first scan. Okay. It's not really a scan. I mean, he's about to pivot, but this is where he takes in information for probably that first time. I mean, he's probably taking it in at all times, but this is when the puck is dumped. He knows it's going to be a D-zone retrieval. What do you guys notice about this situation, about the information that I highlighted?
Some guys are changing.
We got some guys changing, right? Is it his teammates?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He might have to buy some time to get guys on the ice.
Might have to buy some time. Is he going to have much support?
No.
Probably not. What else do we see?
He's got one guy coming in hard.
One hard forechecker. Okay. Do you think he's maybe seeing that other guy on the far side?
Probably.
Probably. Would that mean maybe that far lane might not be an option for him right away?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good. Where do you think the puck's going?
Behind the net.
Behind the net in the corner. We didn't really see how fast it was going.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Let's go to his next one. All right. Second scan. He already pivoted. He's skating back to the puck. What has changed in this situation? Maybe the puck's trajectory, right? Looks like the goalie's going to get it.
He's shoulder checking for his teammates.
Okay. It actually looks like his defensive partner didn't change. Like he's starting to come back on the ice. Realized, Cale is by himself and should probably get out there and help him. Has anything changed with the forechecker? Is he coming pretty fast? Has he closed space a little bit? Kind of tough to tell. I would say he has, right? Cale slowed down a little bit when he pivoted. Now the guy's a little bit closer, probably like 2 stick lengths away. Let's go to the next one. All right, that one was really quick. What do you think the goalie's doing right now?
He's probably talking to Cale.
Could that help him?
Maybe.
Do you think that's important information to know? You think the goalie's probably yelling 2 guys on you, or rim, or chip it up the strong side? That's probably valuable information, right? He's facing all the options, all of the information. Cale's just turned to it. I think Cale is actually blind to that far side. I think it's Carlson 71. He's intentionally kind of staying off in his blind spot, which is a good thing to do as a forechecker. Anything else? Like you can see that D is coming down, like that guy who was going to change. He's trying to get back in the play. You can kind of see that little orange circle.
Maybe Cale's looking for his forwards that are coming off the bench.
Looking for his forwards. Looking for maybe, is there some room he can just release the puck to, or some space he can just punt it to for guys to skate onto? That forechecker, has he closed the space even more? What about Cale's feet? Like, is he skating pretty hard? Who do you think's skating faster right now? Just on that still image.
The forechecker.
A forechecker? Does that change things? All right, let's watch his solution. We'll watch it a couple of times because it's pretty impressive. Right? That's all it is. I'll go back. What does he do here? How does he create that space? What did he do that first forechecker?
He started to go right and then did a power turn left.
Okay. What did he do after he beat that first forechecker? Like, what did I kind of drew this blue area?
He scanned for more options.
As soon as he beat that forechecker, his head was up. He's scanning. He's looking for F2. What is F2? What is F2? Or actually, we'll talk about this in more detail in a sec. The biggest thing is I wanted you guys to watch that twice, because I wanted you to watch how after he moves, after he beats that first forechecker, he instantly gets his head up, right? And then after he beats F2 here, when he goes around the net, his head is still up and he keeps moving his feet, right? The situation is always changing. Like we saw when he was scanning, like every snapshot, I like to call scanning snapshots. You're just taking different pictures of the game. Every time he took a new snapshot, it was completely different than the one before. And it just shows how valuable scanning often is, right? So the situation is always changing. So he's constantly having to scan and pick up on new information and then come up with new actions based on that new information. If he just buried his head after he beat F1, F2 would have been right on him. He wouldn't have got this puck out. All right, so we already watched this solution a few times, but let's talk about the details on how he beat those forecheckers. And I'm not talking about the technique, but like the strategies he used. Let's watch again, and I have this one zoomed in a little bit. It might be a little blurry. I'll just discuss the details that I saw, because in our future talks, we'll break it down. But just so you get an idea of what I'm looking for when I'm watching a situation like this. First of all, we already watched the situation a few times. We know the problem. We know the information he was paying attention to, okay? What I really like is the angle he's taking. Like when he pivoted and was skating towards the puck, he made sure he was right in front of that forechecker. Okay, and he's taking an angle towards the puck where he can go either way. Another thing is the puck is ending up, and the goalie, I don't even think he even touches it, but the puck is going to be ending up inside the dots. When the puck is inside the dots, that means it's harder to come up the strong side, right? It's just further away. So he decides to use that, right? Use that, knowing the puck is inside the dots to gain the net a lot easier, right? The other thing you can see here is, yeah, he's shoulder checking for information, but I also think he's trying to be deceptive. Like he's trying to sell like he's going up the strong side. He's trying to sell like he's going to go to the wall. Why do you guys think he wants to gain the net? What can he do when he gains the net? Why is that hard on a forechecker?
You can use
can
that
use
as a pick.
As a pick, yeah, that's great. That's true. That's a good answer. That's good when the forechecker's on you and you can like pinch him off into the net. What about when the forechecker's in front of you? Like, let's talk about 71, Carlson. Why did he want to gain the net there?
It forces the forechecker to pick away. Like you can't go straight at him.
Right here. Okay. He can't go through the net, right? He forces Carlson to make a decision. Carlson either is going to go on that strong side and cut him off at the far post. I guess Carlson it's the near post for him. He's going to take the net away, or he's going to go around. And it doesn't matter what he does because Cale has his head up, right? If Carlson went towards the boards right away and cut off the net, Cale would just come up that post, right? He'd just come up the strong side and avoid him completely. Instead, he forced him to make a decision where no matter the decision, he was going to be successful. Okay. And another thing we talked about, he does a really good job of, and we talked about it when we played the solution that first time, like he turns that F1's feet really, really well. Like he manipulates him so well, like he creates a ton of room for himself. And that stuff, like those are options and things we can think about when we're doing our drills and our practices. Another thing I think he does really well is as soon as he gains the net, sees where that F2 is coming, he's pushing the puck to an area and using his body to cut off hands, right? And he's getting his head up and keeping his feet moving the whole time, okay? That's a skill we will talk about a ton, right? Moving your feet when you're under contact, when you're protecting the puck, not just gliding. How can we get away from pressure, create more separation? All right, it's kind of a lot. I think the most important thing is to figure out what the problem is, what the information is, and then talk and give you guys options on how they solve that problem. Okay, so that's how we're going to use video.